So I have this sagging outside light fixture. As you can see right here, it's pulling out from my siding. So what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to open it up, see what's causing the sag. We're going to fix it because the rain is about to come here in Washington State. When we start getting that rain, it might seep through here and might cause some damage and possible fire. So stay tuned. Welcome to Fix This House. If you're new to the channel, please consider pressing the subscribe and notification bell. First thing we need to do is shut off the power from the breaker. This will allow us to work safely whenever we're working around any type of electrical. If you're uncomfortable working with electricity, please consult a certified electrician around your area. Now we need to take off the caps that's attaching these light fixtures from the outside wall. Slowly just take it off, and what I'm going to be using here is my voltage detector. I really like using this anytime. Even though I turn off my power from the circuit breaker, I always want to have assurance and test out if there's still current in there, just in case, for safety measures. Take your drill and just start unscrewing everything. It's pretty much attached with this caulking, and you can see it's just starting to pull out. What we're going to do is take out the wire nuts and continue unscrewing this old work J-box. Now when I say old work J-box, you'll find out later on why we call it that, because it's actually just attached by pressure from behind. And I actually made a separate video on that, on the install of an old work J-box, so check that link up on the top right corner. Now take your utility knife and just pretty much cut off that old caulking. Just be very careful because you don't want to damage the wires from behind. So just take your time whenever you're trying to loosen this up. And then once you pry it off, now you're ready to take out the wiring. I'm using a flathead screwdriver to pretty much loosen up that clamp from the back. As you can see, this is pretty much, this plastic tab is pressing down against this wiring. So just lift that up and slowly just take off the wiring from the back. Now you can take off and scrape off the old caulking from the back, but if you don't want to take this time, just pretty much buy a new old work J-box or a new J-box that fits for your needs if you are going to apply a J-box and attach it to a stud. So what you can see here, an old work J-box has these clamps, and the reason why this one failed is because these clamps actually got loose and fell off. So what we're doing now is reattaching these fins that the old work J-box has. Now once you attach this, it can pretty much compress from the back and pretty much take that and clamp itself on the siding. Now where we applied that there, we're going to reapply, or we're going to reattach the wiring, push this back in, and then we are going to screw it back in with our drill, and that should pretty much sink the J-box back in and clamp it just right in place. Now if you want to do another reassurance to have this attached, add one piece of screw on the inside of this, just so that you can have a nice attachment and firm reassurance that it will not come off in the future. Now we're going to take this caulking. This is pretty much an interior and exterior by DAP. I'm only going to be taking off a tiny bit from the tip right there. We're going to have about an 1/8 inch hole, and because we want to have a precision mark, you don't want a big hole, because if you do, you're going to have caulking all over the place, and we just want to caulk right around the old work J-box like what you see here, so that you can have a nice seal and prevent water from going back in here. So just be gentle and make sure that you apply very well around it, and use your fingers to spread it up and make sure it's nice and closed off. Alright, so we're going to get rid of these old wire nuts. These are pretty much ancient. I don't like using these. What I like to use now are these Wagos. Once you go Wagos, you never go back to the old wire nuts. And I promise you that, because I really love these. These are so easy to use. I'll leave it in the link down below, but you can just easily put on the wire, close the latches, and that's it. You don't have to worry about twisting or worrying about having your wires disconnected. Now once you put that in, you're going to put the install bracket back on. Make sure you use your level. Make sure it is nice and aligned, just like what you see here is nice and leveled. Pull down the lever, and when you have it on the hot, neutral, and ground, attach the neutral and the hot wire back. Attach the ground, and you should be ready to go. Now just be careful when you're shoving all the wires back in. Make sure that you don't damage or disconnect anything, and then reattach the light fixture just like that. So easy to do. And again, right when you attach it, make sure you put on your level. Make sure everything is nice and level in all directions, and that's pretty much it. So there you have it, nice and aligned once again. No more gaps. Make sure you turn on the power back on your circuit breaker. And there you have it. Again, if you found this video helpful, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can always be in tune on DIYs, how-to videos, and product reviews that I do within this video. As you can see, that's the before, that's sagging, and now it is nice and flushed with our siding. No more worries about rain going in through those gaps. Thank you once again. I'll see you next time.